Okay. I hereby call to order this meeting of the Arizona Boxing and Mixed Martial Arts Commission. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, 2020, and the time is 10:06 a.m. Will those commissioners that are in attendance please identify themselves and state as to whether they are here in person or via telephone?
This is Joe Bennings. I'm participating by telephone.
And I am Scott Fletcher. I am participating in person, and I'm told that Commissioner Peters will not be able to attend.
Yeah, unable to make it yet.
It's just you and I, Commissioner, so keep that phone line open.
Mr. Chairman, before we get started, I do not have access to the agenda.
Okay.
So I am going to be constrained as far as the ability to make any motion. If you can do that, I would be more than happy to second.
Okay.
As is appropriate.
Very good. I appreciate you saying so. Thank you. B is our new business. B1 is pursuant to ARS Sections 5-227, 228, A, B, and E, and 229. The new license application submitted by Mr. Greg Bloom, doing business as Combate Americas, for a 2020 MMA promoter's license. Mr. Bloom, you're on the phone, correct, sir?
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you for calling in. I'm sorry about some of that background noise you're listening to. We'll have you out of here shortly. I'm glad you're here. We did it. When was the last event we did with you at the Celebrity Theater? How long ago was that now? Was that 2 years ago?
It's been a while. It's been probably 13 months.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm a big fan of your promotion, and I think you can do great things in the state of Arizona. I'm excited you're here. Mr. Meneses, will you speak to Mr. Bloom's application, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Greg Bloom is representing Combates Americas as their legal counsel and also the promoter of record. He has submitted all of his required documentation. They have a planned date of March 13th at the Tucson Arena or the Tucson Convention Center. They've already started preparing a pretty full pro card. They have had no other issues. Everything is in order and submitted correctly. I would recommend that the commission approve.
Thank you. Commissioner Pennington, any thoughts or questions for Mr. Bloom?
No, Mr. Chairman. I just want to thank Mr. Bloom for considering the Tucson area for one of his events. I did attend one of the other events. It was a very good promotion, and I assume that he will make the same effort this time.
Yes, thank you. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you. Very good. I'm just glad you're here. I'm going to make a motion, if I may. I move that we grant the new license application submitted by Mr. Greg Bloom, doing business as Combates Americas, for a 2020 MMA promoter's license.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Mr. Bloom, congratulations. We look forward to March 13th. Is that what that is?
Yes, and thank you, commissioners. We're looking very forward to bringing not just the March 13th show, but multiple shows this year to the state of Arizona.
Fantastic. I think you'll find our fight fans good people, and our town's full of good fighters to populate your cards with, too.
Great. Well, thanks again, and we're looking forward to it. And if there's anything else you need from me, I'll start, besides the normal medicals and so forth, please reach out to me immediately, and I'll get you all the necessary information.
Absolutely. We will do. Thanks again for calling in. You take care.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Item B2 is pursuant to ARS Sections 5-227, 228, A, B, and E, and 229, the renewal license applications submitted by Ms. Lucinda Morrow-Pop, doing business as Sweet Science Boxing Promotions, for a 2020 boxing promoter's license. Good morning.
Good morning.
You have Ms. Morrow on the phone, and representative here is Josephine Carbajal, representing in person.
Very good. Thank you so much for coming down. Ms. Morrow-Pop, are you on the phones?
I am here.
Thank you so much for calling in. Mr. Meneses, will you speak to this application, please?
Yes, sir. Ms. Morrow is representing Sweet Science Boxing Promotions. They've been a licensed promoter since 2018, and I think we're on about 5 or 6 events now.
Yes.
Yep. Their events are continuing to increase in both size and popularity, as well as fixing some of the issues that we've addressed in the past. So they're continuing to work with the commission to remain a promoter in good standing. Ms. Morrow has submitted all the required documents and financials, and there's nothing of concern, so I do recommend that we reapprove them for a 2020 boxing promoter's license.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Meneses. Commissioner Pennington, thoughts, questions about this application?
No, Mr. Chairman, I have no real questions other than just to thank Sweet Science for the events that they've had and look forward to their promoting some additional ones.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner. Yeah, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Tradiciones?
Tradiciones, yes, title fight. We're working on it.
Awesome.
We have a lot of support from the commission. I do have to.
Have you given any thought to our state titles? Have you looked at the state title belts we have?
We did. We looked at it for a heavyweight match. We're just still trying to make that happen.
Sure. Well,
But
keep it
I'm willing. We're open to talk about it.
I'm not trying to force your hand. I just think it might work really well with what you're doing, too. But we'll leave it at that. I'm going to make a motion. I move that we grant the renewal license application submitted by Miss Lucinda Morapop, doing business as Sweet Science Boxing Promotions, for a 2020 boxing promoter's license. We have a
Mr.
motion.
Chairman, I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We look forward to, you got one coming up here pretty quickly, huh? February 28th. Well, get to work.
I know.
It's going to be a title fight.
You.
That's all, yeah.
It's going to be a
and
WBC title
I
fight.
will be there. I'm excited about that. That's going to be fun. Item 3, again, pursuant to ARS Sections 5-227, 228, A, B, and E, and 229, the new license application submitted by Mr. Paul Pelletier. We're going to have to talk about your last name pronunciation, but how close did I get?
Very close.
Doing business as OG Boxing for a 2020 boxing promoter's license. Mr. Meneses, you speak to Mr. Pelletier's?
If you're a Frenchman, it's Pelletier. Here for Pelletier.
Pelletier's
All right.
application, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Pelletier is going to be starting a new boxing promotion, OG Boxing Promotions, working with Mr. Fidel Hernandez as a matchmaker and help giving guidance. This will be Paul's first time being a boxing promoter or involved in the combat sports. He is a retired U.S. military veteran of over 20 years and is a current business owner of over 15 years. He has submitted all the required documents. You will notice on the financial page there is two judgments that are listed, liens, and the department does ask for an update on the status of those 2 liens. So I would recommend the commission approve contingent upon we receive those documents and they are satisfactory to the department.
Very good. Commissioner Pennington, questions, thoughts for Mr. Pelletier?
Yes, Mr. Pelletier, being a new promoter, one of the difficulties that we have experienced is that sometimes the promoters do not provide all of the documents necessary to get the fighter's license and have all of the paperwork completed. So we would certainly hope that you're not in that circumstance. And secondly, the promotion is so important to have people in the stands or in the seats. And I've seen in other cases where new promoters have failed to really promote the event and contest so that they can fill the chairs. And I just hope that you're able to do that. I would look forward to your event if the license is approved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes,
I'd like to say something about that if I could.
please.
But again, my partner Fidel has been in the Valley for 14. Well, he's been in the Valley for 40 years. There's been a lot of relationships. Everybody likes him, and I've built a lot of relationships in the last 15 years of being a business owner here. And I really think we're going to have a really good chance of filling the stands with no problems.
Very good. You're in good hands, and it's important. We've seen, I'm in 10 years, I spent 10 years up here now, and we've seen a lot of people come and go. Unfortunately, it's hard to put together a card. And to sell tickets to a card, OG Boxing, I haven't heard of it yet because it's about to happen. So it's tricky to fill the room and keep the ball rolling, and you have to wear a lot of hats.
And that's been able to do the last 15 years running a personal training studio and a boxing gym. I own Scottsdale Boxing Club also, so and I've been doing that for a few years, and I own Edge Fitness for 13 years. So I've worn a lot of hats over the years. And Fidel and I have two totally different skill sets, which I think is a plus.
I agree. I'm glad you're here. I mean, the life's blood of what we do are promoters, good, solid promoters that file paperwork on time, as Commissioner said. And it's very important because a lot of cards get away from us because first-timers aren't on top of paperwork. And that's very important because we're going to just shut it down if we don't get what we need when we need it. So you'll need to become good friends with these two guys, too. Okay. I have no further questions. I think Commissioner Pennington is satisfied as well, so I'm just going to press on with a motion. I'm going to move that we approve the, where did I got off course here? There we are. The new license application submitted by Mr. Paul Pelletier, doing business as OG Boxing for a 2020 boxing promoter's license.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. Look forward to your future exploits.
Thank you very much.
And keep us in the loop.
I will.
These are good people that will really help you along the path, too. Good seeing you. Take care. Item 4 is pursuant to ARS Sections 5-227, 228A, and AAC R19-2-C609, the renewal license application submitted by Ms. Sandra Olding, doing business as IKF of Arizona for a 2020 outside sanctioning body license. Ms. Olding, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming down. It was an uneventful drive.
Uneventful. Cold, but uneventful.
That's okay. We're all for that. Mr. Manassis, will you speak to this application, please?
Yes, sir. Ms. Olding is returning to have another outside sanctioning body to sanction amateur Muay Thai on behalf of the IKF. And this is her second year returning. We worked together last year to make sure they got up and were adhering to the regulations. She did a great job. They had a few events I was unable to make it to, but this year we're going to try to change that. We're putting them on our calendar to try to make some of those, as well as Miss Olding had an opportunity last year to come to one of our weigh-ins to kind of shadow, and I've extended that same offer for her to come to our next Prescott Valley show, which is up near her home, so she will be attending that as well to continue to do these shows and to continue to uphold them like we'd like her to. She has submitted all of her required documents. As you can see, there's no concerns that were noted, and she has had no other issues as a licensee, so I would recommend that the Commission approve her for a 2020 outside sanctioning body license.
Very good. Thank you. Commissioner, any thoughts or questions for Ms. Olding?
No, Mr. Chairman, I did not.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, things were a little dicey for a while there, weren't they? But we made it, right? And you've worked closely with these guys.
They're great.
And yeah, thank
I
you.
have a quick question. I submitted those rules for PKB, remember? We're going to talk about that in March. Just want to make sure.
Via email?
Huh?
Via email?
No, I
Oh, you gave them to
I
me?
put
Oh,
it-
you? I have them?
Yeah.
Okay, they're probably on my desk, yeah.
We can discuss that maybe in
Okay.
March.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
We
good.
will pursue that. With there being no more questions, I'm going to throw a motion out. I'm going to move that we approve the renewal license application submitted by Ms. Sandra Olding, doing business as IKF of Arizona, for a 2020 outside sanctioning body license.
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. Appreciate you coming down to town.
Thank you, no problem. Thank
Good
you.
luck. Good luck on the drive back up.
All right, thanks.
Item 5 is pursuant to ARS Sections 5-227, 228, and AAC R19-2-C604, the new license application submitted by Zeferino Yanes for a 2020 amateur MMA athlete license. Mr. Yanes, good morning. Thanks so much for coming down.
So Mr. Yanes is a Spanish speaker, so Carla will help translate for that. His trainer or coach is here, Daniel Madrid, who is a professional MMA athlete. I talked to Mr. Zeffirino, who is 38 years old, making his amateur debut. His current weight is 206. His planned fight weight is 205. I don't think he'll have a problem cutting the 1 pound. He trains 5 days a week for at least 2 hours in both MMA and doing cardio. On Saturday, he does sparring, and on Sunday, he does some just technical work for the sport of MMA. Looks like all of his documents are in order, including his medicals, so I would recommend that we approve him as an amateur.
Okay,
MMA.
thank you. Commissioner Pennington, thoughts, questions for Mr. Yanes?
Mr. Chairman, based on what Mr. Manessa said and given the training schedule, I have no real questions at this point.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. One question, is there an event that you're hoping to be licensed for?
It's this Saturday.
It is, okay. And we're a pound short, so we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as he puts the baby down, he'll be on.
That's 30 pounds right there. Very good. I, too, have no questions. I'm going to press on with the motion. I move that we grant the new license application submitted by Mr. Zeffirino Yanes for a 2020 amateur MMA license, athlete's license, him being over the age of 36.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. Good luck Saturday. Look forward. Okay. Item 6 is pursuant to ARS sections 5-227, 5-228, and AAC R19-2-C604 for a person over the age of 36. The new license application submitted by Mr. Brendan Webb for 2020 amateur MMA athlete license. Mr. Webb, how are you this morning? Appreciate you coming down. Mr. Meneses, we speak to Mr. Webb's application, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Webb is a 41-year-old overage athlete applying for an amateur debut MMA license. He is currently 175, will be fighting at 170. He trains 5 days a week, about 2 to 3 hours, engaging in grappling, Muay Thai, and cardio and weight and strength and conditioning training. He has submitted all of his required documents and medicals, and I recommend we approve him for MMA amateur license.
Thank you. Commissioner Pennington, thoughts or questions for Mr. Webb?
Mr. Chairman, I have no questions.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Webb, you are hoping to be part of Saturday night's card? Okay, very good. Thank you. And you have a pound to cut?
5.
Oh, okay. I'm not good at math. I have math issues. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry
only
about
1
that.
pound. He's
Yeah,
fine.
right. Okay. Any issues making that cut, you think?
No, not at all.
Okay. When's the weigh-in? Friday?
Friday.
Okay.
Friday afternoon, yeah.
Okay. Very good. I'd like to make a motion. I move that we grant the new license application submitted by Mr. Brendan Webb for a 2020 amateur MMA athlete license.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Good luck, Mr. Webb. Look forward to seeing you Saturday.
Thank you.
Item 7 is again pursuant to ARS sections 5-227, 228, and AAC R19-2-C604 for persons over the age of 36. The renewal license application is submitted by Mr. Paris Stanford for a 2020 professional MMA athlete license. Mr. Stanford, how are you this morning?
Doing very well.
Good. Very good. Thanks for coming down. We appreciate your time. Mr. Meneses, we speak to Mr. Stanford's application.
Yes, sir. Mr. Stanford is an active overage fighter at 37 years old with an amateur record of 2-0 and a pro record of 5-2. His current weight is 158. His fight weight will be 145. His training regimen includes 5 days a week, 4 hours a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, of jiu-jitsu, cardio, and weight training and strength and conditioning training. He has turned in all his required documents. I'm not sure which card are you going to be on?
Actually, 22nd, the 22nd of February.
That's WFFs, yeah. So that's WFFs. So 2 weeks he'll be on that card, and I recommend the commission approve.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Meneses. Commissioner Pennington, any thoughts or questions?
No, Mr. Chairman, I have no questions at this time.
Okay. One quick one, if I may, Mr. Stanford. 13 pounds to cut? A couple weeks to do it?
Yeah, I've done it. This will be my 10th time doing it, so I'm actually right on track.
Okay. Just want to make sure you know where you're headed and how to get there.
It's
Very
a
good.
time I fight too, so it's, I take it really.
I don't know. We've had some guys showing up overweight lately around here.
I'll never
But
do that.
I think we're cutting that down a little bit, so I think we'll get a better handle on that. going
Okay,
forward.
okay, very good. I'm going to make a motion. I move that we grant the renewal license application submitted by Mr. Paris Stanford for a 2020 professional MMA athlete license.
I'll second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Stanford. We look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
Take care. Item 8 is pursuant to ARS Sections 5-227, 228, and AAC R19-2-C604 for persons over the age of 36. The new license application submitted by Mr. Diamond Bear for a 2020 professional boxing athlete license. Mr. Bear, are you on the phones?
I am. Good morning.
Oh, very good. Thank you so much for waiting. We appreciate your time. Let's get to it. Mr. Meneses, will you speak to this application, please?
Yes, sir. So Mr. Bear, as you know, is calling in, so I did not get a chance to talk to him and interview him first on some of these questions, so we'll do those on the phone. Mr. Bear, what's your current age?
43.
43, and is this a debut?
No.
Okay.
This would be my 12 fight, or 11 fight, sorry.
Okay, and what's your record?
5-5-1.
5-5-1, all right. And what is your training regimen?
Sorry, what's that?
What is your training regimen? How often do you work out? Do you work out, and what does it consist of?
I do cardio in the morning, an hour and a half, and then I'm in the boxing gym 2 hours at night after work. So I train about 5 days a week. For boxing and then cardio about 6 days a week.
So with your record 5-5-1, how was your last fight? How did that one end in?
My last fight was about 2 months ago, and that was I knocked the kid out in the second round.
So your last was a win, okay. And what's your current fight weight? Or what's your current weight and your fight weight?
Currently, right now, I just stepped on the scale. I'm 137, and I will be fighting at 127, 128.
You said you're 177?
137,
Okay.
137.
Okay. I'm fighting at 127. And which card are you on? You on Iron Boy's card?
No, I believe it's the
28?
Free Science promotion, the 28
Okay.
at the end of the month.
So Mr. Bear has submitted all of his required documents, including the additional MRI report. He has been cleared from all that stuff. The only thing that is a little bit of a concern is his record at 5-5-1 at an overage fighter. However, his last bout did end in a win via KO. So I would recommend that we approve him for 2020, and we, if he comes back for next year, we definitely look at how his record is at that time in comparison to his age at that time.
Very good. Thank you. Commissioner, questions for Mr. Barrett?
Mr. Chairman, the question I have is, Mr. Bear, have you been knocked out at all?
No, I've never been knocked out. There was
You've never been knocked
back in 2009. It was a TKO. It was a stoppage. But that's when I basically came up to 142 to meet a guy who fights at 137 because I couldn't get any fights. That was the only TKO I've had. It was technically a stoppage. I got knocked down 3 times in the first round. But never been knocked out.
Okay.
Okay, Mr.
Yeah, that's
Chairman, I
verified.
have no other questions.
Familiar with this?
Yeah. It's,
Okay.
And I do agree with Mr.
his
Bear.
physical exam was covered. Yeah.
Okay.
That was his
Okay.
physical, and they said they couldn't do it on the eye.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was talking to Mr. Manassas about your eye exam, Mr. Bear. It said the pupillary reflex from the eye exam had to be cleared up. It apparently has been, so we're good there. These are all pro fights. The 5, 5, and 1 are all pro fights that you've had, Mr. Bear, correct?
That is correct.
His last
Okay.
3 are wins. So.
And your last 3 are wins, too, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, great. Commissioner Pennington, any other thoughts for Mr. Bear?
No, Mr. Chairman, I'm good.
Okay. As am I. I am going to make a motion that we grant the new license application submitted by Mr. Diamond Bear for a 2020 professional boxing athlete license.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Bear. Good luck to you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for calling in. Appreciate your time. And item 9.
Have a good day, guys.
You too. Item 9 is pursuant to ARS Sections 5-227, 228, and AAC R19-2-C604 for persons over the age of 36. The new license application submitted by Mr. Juan Palacios for a 2020 professional boxing athlete license. Mr. Palacios, how are you this morning?
Buenos días.
Buenos dias. Thank you for coming down. Mr. Meneses, will you speak to Mr. Palacios' application, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Palacios is a Spanish speaker, so we do have Carlo here to translate if you do need to have a translation. He is from Nicaragua.
Nicaragüense.
Yeah, okay. And he is a professional boxer with a record of 29-9-2. He is an overage fighter at the age of 39, coming to Arizona for his fight on next Friday against Alexis Sasueta, who is 12-0. This will be a good match for Alexis to give him a chance to go with somebody who's got more experience. We know that Alexis is a skilled fighter and he's a strong fighter, but this would give him a chance to get someone who's over in age as well as the experience from that. He currently is at 126. His fight weight is at 118. I don't see a problem with him losing that 8 pounds in the next week. He trains cardio about 1 hour a day, 7 days a week. He spars for 2 to 3 hours, about 6 days a week. His amateur record was 50-2, and he has been inactive for 2 years, so he is coming back to us after being off for about a year and a half. He has had several losses on his last, but that's been an opportunity for him to go back and train and try to come back into the game and see where he's at now. So I would recommend that we approve, since we do have all the required documents, and there's nothing else barring his denial.
Thank you. Commissioner Pennington, questions, thoughts from Mr. Palacios?
Mr. Chairman, do we have a record of any knockouts for Mr. Palacios?
Yeah, so he has.
When I say knockouts, I mean him being knocked out.
Correct. Yeah, he's never been knocked out. He did lose by TKO on 2, including his last in 2017. But he has not had a KO. He has delivered a few, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have no other questions.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have none either. We're glad you're here. See,
Gracias.
I'm going to make a motion. I move that we grant the new license application submitted by Mr. Juan Palacios for a 2020 professional boxing athlete license.
I'll second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
I think this
Buena
would be a good fight. Be a good fight.
He was champion of the world 2 times.
Oh yeah, for which organization?
WBC and AMB.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's awesome. No, we're really happy to have him here. It's going to be that'll be a great fight.
Mr. Pennington, I don't know if you heard that, but he was his coach was advising us that he has had 2 world title fights in the past, and I'm looking it up, and I do see that he has won the WBC world minimum title at least twice, yeah, and the WBA as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
So I think this will be a good fight. This will be a good fight with Alexis. Like I said, this will give Alexis a good a good run.
Yeah, no doubt. That will be a good one. Very good. We've made it through licenses. Let's go to C, our information reports. C1 is our event reports. The following events are approved by the executive director from January 8th, 2020 to February 11th, 2020. The first is a request from Iron Boy Promotions for approval of the following boxing event to be held at the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix on February 21st, 2020. The second is a request from Sweet Science Promotions for approval of the following boxing event to be held at Tradiciones in Phoenix on February 28th, 2020. The third is a request from Combates Americas for approval of the following MMA event to be held at the Tucson Convention Center in Tucson on March 13th, 2020. Item 2 is our licensing reports. The following licenses were approved by the executive director from December 15th, 2019 to February 7th, 2020. The first are amateur MMA athletes licenses. There are 8 of those. Professional MMA athletes licenses. None of those were granted in that period of time. 14 professional boxing athlete licenses were granted. 62 commission officials licenses were granted. And number 5, other licenses issued were 7 promoters licenses, 4 matchmaker, 4 manager, 3 trainers, 1 outside sanctioning body, and 50 seconds. Item 3.
Real quick, just touch on that. So that's part of a new thing we're going to be doing on the commission meeting. We'll put these on there every month to update the commission on where we are in licensing. In addition, quarterly, so that'll starting next month, we'll have an update from the outside sanctioning bodies. I've invited USA Boxing to come present any information they have as well. But this is kind of an expanded version of our new race or a new boxing agenda to kind of mirror somewhat of what racing does to make sure the commission's fully advised of all the business dealings that we're dealing with here. So you'll see this going forward.
It's awesome. It's very nice to know. So I'm all for it. Thank you. Item 3 regards non-medical suspension report. The executive director has not issued any suspensions to report at this point.
That's part of the other thing we'll start doing is anyone that is suspended for non-medical related things, even if it doesn't make it to the commission for a hearing, we'll still advise you of who the applicant was, or I'm sorry, who the licensee is, which sport, and what the reason and the length of the suspension. If you guys have any questions, we can address those at that time.
Perfect. Thank you. Item 4 is an updated commission meeting and events schedule. Mr. Meneses.
So this leads you through May. This is what we have on the website right now. Mr. Pennington, the website is up to date, so I know that you're kind of limited on your resources right now for access to this, but when you do have an opportunity, it is on the website. Up through May is what we have planned, and what the cards that we're currently working on. There's about 9 cards over the next 8 to 9 weeks that we're working on. Some are very busy weeks. You'll see April 3rd, for instance, we have a boxing on Friday night, and on Saturday we have 2 MMA in 2 different parts of the state, one in Parker and one in Prescott Valley. So it'll be pretty busy for the next several weeks, but that's what we like and enjoy doing, so no problem.
Yeah, thank you. No, our calendar is certainly fleshing itself out, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's still more to come, too. So that's exciting. Very good. Let's go to D, our call to the commission. Commission members or the executive director may introduce a summary of current events, ask questions, and or make comments. Commissioner Pennington, any thoughts or statements you'd like to make?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just want to say that I really appreciate the information that Mr. Meneses just provided and the revision and the way things will be reported to the commission going forward. The professionalism of the Arizona Boxing and Mixed Martial Arts Commission is improving on a daily basis, much less meeting-by-meeting basis. And I really appreciate the work that Mr. Meneses and Carlo and anyone else that's associated with us has put in to bring us up to date.
Thank you, Commissioner. I agree completely.
Thank you.
Executive Director, any thoughts you'd like to put in this portion?
No, I think adding these additional areas are going to help alleviate some of that because it's going to answer some of the questions that we may already have. But as of right now, there's nothing else.
Good. All's well, and we charge into the new year. I guess it's February, right?
Yeah.
We're way past charging into the new year. E is our call to the public. Those members of the public wishing to address the commission must sign the sign-up sheet, identify themselves, and be recognized by the chair. Please, come talk to us.
So I just want to preface real quick. So coming forward is Mr. Todd Whitmoyer. Mr. Whitmoyer was a previous licensed matchmaker for the Boxing and MMA Commission. There was some involvement in the unsanctioned events in which the commission took disciplinary action against Mr. Whitmoyer's license, including issuing fines and revoking his license. Mr. Whitmoyer has been remorseful and would like to have the commission reconsider him being back involved in some form with these sports, not necessarily directly through the commission, maybe possibly through one of the outside sanctioning bodies. So what I've asked is Mr. Whitmoyer has provided a few letters that he would like the commission to review and consider, and he is going to make a couple-minute statement here, and then the commission, if they would like to make a decision, we can put him on the March agenda. That will give you guys a few weeks to review these letters. Mr. Pennington will get those to you as soon as you come off the slopes, and we'll get those letters to you to look at, and then we can, if you guys are interested, we can put them on the March agenda for consideration of how the commission would like to proceed.
Absolutely. Mr. Whitmore, thank you for coming down. Appreciate your time. Please.
I not much to say outside of,
And please speak up, because you've got to go through speakerphone and all that
very
too. Or you come on over here if you'd like. Yeah.
Best way to say it is I made a mistake. I own the mistake. I've paid the fines that I need to. I have one more to pay that I plan on making today, the final of that. I listened to the wrong person. It's the best way to say it. I got put in a spot where I needed the money, and that's why I did the fights the way I did. It shouldn't have. I own that. I am looking to be able to do what I did before in the correct manner of following it. I have reached out to the IKF. They obviously said at this point there's nothing they can do until I get approved by you guys. I've been in this sport for a very long time. I fought professionally in boxing, amateur. I've been with Clement Muir. I've been, Nico Fernandez. I fought for everybody, with everybody. I want to get back to what I was doing. I know I was a very good matchmaker. I put on some really good fights. It was just for the wrong sanctioning, and I'll make it right this time.
Thank you. I really appreciate your statement. I appreciate the tact you're taking, and this isn't the time or place for a decision.
I understand that.
But we will consider it. Can we put it on the next agenda, please?
That's what you're asking for? Yep.
I'm asking for that, please. Next agenda, we will pursue this. But again, thank you so much. Appreciate your thoughts. Anyone else from the public? Please. Oh, that was a high five. I thought you were asking. Okay, sorry. Anyone else want to chat with us?
Manny? No? Nothing?
Come on, Manny.
He's sporting his UFC, proudly his UFC
I know.
hat.
He gets those for free, doesn't he?
Oh.
All right. Yep, please, come on up. Please identify yourself.
Richard Williams. I represent Golden Cobra Promotion. I did all my promotions under IKF. I just want to thank you again. I know, like you say, it was a hard battle last time, but this one is slow and easy. We did 4 successful shows. Worked with communities, this town of Camp Verde with the Corn Fest. We worked with the bike rally. We worked with the community. So we love what we're doing, and we appreciate you guys again, and thank you for approving the IKF license again. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the thoughts. We appreciate you guys working closely with us, too. It's the only way we can do it, so good deal. Thank you. There being no one else wanting to bark at us, I'm going to make this announcement that the next regularly scheduled commission meeting will be at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, March 11th, 2020, right here at 1110 West Washington Street, Phoenix, Arizona, 85007, and is subject to change based on a quorum. Those quorums are hard to come by all of a sudden, aren't they?
They are.
Which pushes us towards the possibility of an adjournment. If we have a quorum. Without a quorum, we'll never adjourn, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's technically
Go on. We'll be sitting here March 11th. Yes, go ahead.
I moved that we adjourn, Mr. Chairman. I moved that we adjourn.
We have a motion. I'm going to second that motion. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. We're officially adjourned. Commissioner, thank you so much for your time. Go get back out there, and we will see you again shortly. You take care.
Thank everyone for putting up with me while I'm doing my favorite sport.
What? Your favorite sport?
Favorite? I thought we were your favorite. I thought that was your second favorite.
Well, this is my participation sport.
Oh, okay.